Started.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another week. Today is, what is today? March 3rd, I believe, or 2nd? Actually, yeah, 3rd. And Sunday. And again, another week that's gone by where we've turned the equities green on Fridays. It's just going on for, I don't know, must be 5 or 6 weeks now that Fridays have basically risk-free. Just buy and wait for the close and you'll be up. But at the end of the day, again, really small candle this week over here. We're in the zone. There's still a little bit more, maybe another 15, 20 points, and then it's just the end of the line as far as I can see. I mean, this is, a really tight back test off the sell-off. And what come next is just down. Patience is really all it is. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of great setups for equities. If you're buying dips, into demand, like we talked about last week, that's still working, for now. But I think it's really over. Smaller time frame longs, if you want to try them, just in and out type stuff for, half an hour type of a trade, yeah, it's going to be okay. But the big move is to the downside, and it's coming imminently. I know I've been saying that for the last 2 weeks or so, but that's it. We're at the end of the line. So what? We're just going to do this and go up to the end of 4,000 without a pullback. It just doesn't work that way. So, looking for sell-offs, waiting for it patiently. The better setups actually are on, for now that have already shown themselves are on some of the other assets we're going to come talk to. But as far as the equities are concerned, not changing my tune. Looking for a really strong sell-off to begin imminently. Until it does, obviously, we're not really getting short yet because it's not allowing us to do that. We had a couple of breakdowns last week. You could see over here, and then we're miraculously saved. Big strong sell-offs. Trend over here is still up. Right? We get back down to some demand over here after this sell-off, and we sort of hang around. We bang for a couple of days, we base, and then Friday is Friday. We go up on Friday. That's what happens. Even though in the morning we had a pretty strong sell-off, we were saved again, and we just closed pretty much, near the highs of the session. And that's it. So what are we looking for now? There's some demand underneath us, still okay levels. This level still created new highs multiple times. It's still okay. This level we're just watching for now. It has a pretty decent bounce, but hasn't made a new high yet. If we go back and we look at, the S&P from the higher time frame for a minute, we're starting to look like a double top a little bit over there on the daily charts and stuff like that. Take a look over here. I want to zoom out a little bit. It's more than a double. It's like the fourth time we're here already. Right. So 1, 2, 3. Now 4, 5, right? So maybe we can get through this zone just a little bit. There's a zone up here, just above. I really think 20-something is the top. It doesn't make any sense after that. Could we get all the way to here, to the next demand zone on the daily chart before we get a pullback? That would be disastrous, personally. If we just keep doing this until we get here, then the sell-off is just going to be huge, really, really huge. Much better for the bulls if they stop with this nonsense and let the bears take over for a little while, give us a back test somewhere over here, and then you can build some momentum on the way up. There's nothing after that, So, but for now, it's just watching, study, watch the course. This is the level that we're in. It's produced massive sell-off over here, a couple of times over here, and then it breaks down, right? So what? Just a pullback to here, 2600, is this move. This one. I'll erase. I'm making too many lines for you guys. But this move here and this move here, right? That was the back test of the 2600 level right over here. So again, it's the same level. Again, back down here. One of those. But that's already 250 ES points. Okay, so it's huge. It's a very big move. But it's it makes sense. Okay, so let's see what happens. What we really should get is some symmetry. We would produce this move multiple times. And then we'll have a really nice symmetrical looking chart, and then nobody knows what happens after that, But for now, the first step is this pullback into this 2600, and once we start getting some lower highs and lower lows on the 60, that's it. It's time to get short and just let it sit back and wait for it to get down to 2600. Okay, so that's our ES chart. Let's take a look at NASI. Similar, as always. So, again, small green candles, right? Getting up into the supply zone. This over here is a little bit bigger on the weekly. We're inside the monthly supply zone, right? We're inside the daily supply zone over here again. And we've just been pretty flat. A lot of little doji candles and then a little small push up and some doji candles. And you can see it's just channeling over here. Right over here. Most of last week, just inside out, boom, 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 back and forth, getting close up to the supply zone. Again, what we're looking for is a pullback over here, okay? It's a level that we've been at multiple times before in the higher time frames again. Let's open it up. There we go. Zoom out a little bit. So, there we go. Okay, so this is, again, this one. Let's see. Drop, base, drop. Rally, base, drop. Rally, base, drop. Okay, so 3 times. There's the 4th now. Okay. And again, same idea. We're looking for this pullback down. You know, this one looks like a 6,600 at least, right? This is a move down to this level over here. We hit it multiple times. Yeah, it's a 60, looks like 64, 65, 66, somewhere right around over here. Still, you know, a 500-point drop. Anyway, you cut it from a NASDAQ perspective here. So that's what should be coming. As soon as it starts, we'll get on. But for now, it's just not triggered yet. Okay, so we're waiting for it. So hardest part of trading sometimes is the wait. We've been waiting for this one for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks maybe. Patience is really what makes the difference at this point. We just got to wait it out because the chart looked like it was getting ready to go over here, right? After we had this base drop, and then we rallied, we hit the supply over here, and then we made a new low. And we got this going on, and then, you know, they take over for Thursday, Friday BS. They have to close it out green, and they do, and we end up back inside the zone again. So, you know, how much further can we go up here? Not too much. There's some supply up here. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'll go back there. Sorry about that. There we go. So, you know, 72.50, something like that. Maybe there's a little more, and then we're done. Okay. So, still leaning short, waiting for this trade to trigger. Okay. And when it does, I'll start tweeting it out. Okay. Let you know. Let's talk about crude for a little while. So this one, we were pretty accurate there. I love coming back on Sunday and seeing, you know, what happened over the week, and then when it lines up with my analysis, it just, you know, gives you some extra confidence. Take a look over here for us on our weekly chart. We get the engulfing bearish twins. Okay, and pointing to a pullback, which is what we were expecting. We should get to 60, like I said. 58 looks like it was the top. It is for now. I think we see a 50, 52 print, and then we see a 60 print. Okay, so that's what we're looking for now. Some more weakness back down into this demand zone over here on the daily chart. Okay, if we look over here, what happened this week, we had some serious rejection up here at 58, right? With the first shot, this candle, and then we dojied out, rallied back, and then we get a big engulfer reversal pattern over here with the Morningstar doji in the right over here. So we've got a double top, big rejection both times, and that's opening up the pullback over here. Okay, it's a double top here. You can see it. I'm going to draw it for you over here, and we're just only over here. Right, so it should retrace back to the origin, back down to 52-ish, which is basically inside this zone. Okay, and therefore we want to be short at this point. For crude on rallies into supply should be shorted. Okay, so right now, if you look carefully, we're sort of in demand over here on the 240 chart, right here. Right, and we've broken through the little pivot over here, so there should be some kind of this coming. All right, so there should be a short somewhere around 56 and change that we want to try to join over here. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so first of all, here's our 60 chart. Okay, so the level I'm talking about is actually inside this area, right? When we took out this bottom over here, and we created this little overlapping wicks area, it looks like it's sort of two little levels. 56.50 is this one. If it should get above there, we'll have to look for shorts inside of here, but I think this is that should be it. A little back test to 56.50. 56.50 is just right here, right in this area. So if you want to maybe, let's see, let me tighten this up a little bit. Maybe we do something like this. I think we merge these two zones. This. Take the shorts somewhere in the middle, maybe just at the overlapping wicks inside these two zones over here. Right inside this 40-something and stop above, 67. Talk about swing trade over here, by the way, right? Because we're going from 56 down to 52. That's $4 for crude. 400 ticks. It's going to take a couple of days, but that's the trade we're looking for. Okay, so it's a short inside the zone, stop outside, aiming for 52. Really good. That's trade number one that I like a lot for this week. There's two other ones which I'll point out in a minute. Okay, let's move on to gold, which is also doing what we were anticipating over here, where 1350 was called for the target on the up move, and now we should see a back test. It looks like it's going to be an under. Well, we already got under 1300, so we should see a little more pullback. I think this is the zone we're looking for over here to join the longs again. Remember, this I talked about last week as being the V bottom formation on a weekly chart, right? So we get back to the top, and then what we should see is a sell-off, and then a higher low. I think it's going to come in somewhere over here, and then boom. Then we'll get the next part of this. So this is going to look like this over here, like this. Okay, so we want to, for now, want to be short down into this demand zone. Okay, it looks like on the daily chart, we filled this rollover gap, right? After we talked about this flag permission, right, from the prior week, boom, and then we get the drop-based drop. Okay, and now we've hit the demand. I think we're still pulling back, so we should have a little rally over here, and then a lower high and a continuation down. This is currently an uptrend on a daily chart. So for us to get down to 1260, we should see something like this. Looks like right here is the level where we broke out the prior highs. It looks like the 200 average is right there around 1250. I'm saying somewhere inside this zone, 69 to 57ish. It's landing us pretty much, over here on the weekly chart. So we want to be short for now. Any rally into supply should be shorted with a target of, mid 1260s. Okay. Let's look for that entry level. Where is that located? Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know if we're going to get there, but obviously 1320 looks really nice. If we can get that far, I doubt it. This is the one I think we're going to see. Okay. On Friday, we broke down from 1314 all the way through 1300 even. So a back test should be coming. Okay. We've hit some demand under here already. So, something like this, I think this is the short level. 05-ish, around 05 to join down into the 1260 level. Okay, so keep your eye on this level right here. 055037. Nice tight dojis. There's the prior lows at the zone. It's right around this area over here on the 60 chart. Okay, excuse me. That's the short we're looking for. Okay, and that will give us a target of around 1260 or so. So you're talking about 30, 40 bucks, to the downside, somewhere around $35 of still downside in gold, and then that's going to be when we get down there the level to enter into swing longs again. So for now we're looking for shorts around 1305. Okay, next, the dollar had an interesting week. Looking like it was ready to just collapse through the air over here, and it ended up hitting some smaller time frame demand and giving a decent bounce over here, right? And it did this base rally. Trump's been shooting his mouth off this weekend that he doesn't like the strong dollar. It's not good for business, blah, 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 blah. We had all kinds of Fed speakers last week. Let's see what happens this week. I'm not convinced that this is real yet. I think we're probably going to see some twins over here and start pulling back a little more. But, we'll have to wait and see what happens on Monday. Because if we take out the prior week's high over here, we get this continuation of this hammer candle over here, then it's possible that we actually get back up there. Right now we've got lower highs and higher lows. Prior highs, lower high, but we've got higher lows also. So we're sort of wedged out. So we need to just sit tight for a little bit and see which way this thing wants to break. My bias is to the downside over here, so we'll watch and see what happens. Let's take a look at euro. Again, similar, where we rallied up right into the supply that was here. Originally was supply. We ended up breaking through the zone, and then we're just back testing. It looks like over here, on the daily chart, this 50 average is sort of holding price steady over here, and we've got some demand underneath us. So we've been basing basically for 4 days or 5 days here with equal highs and lows around the 1400. A little above, a little below, but 1400 being the middle, and just hanging out there. And you could see the consistency. Look at this. I mean, every indicator is squashing price, right? The top of the Bollinger Bands is holding the highs. It's also the 200 average. And then we've got over here, it looks like the bottom of the Bollinger Bands under us with the 50 average holding price underneath us. So it's just consolidating back and forth all week. And what's going to happen, again, if the dollar rolls over, then we're going to get a failed hammer over here. If we do get a continuation to the downside over here on the weekly candle, then we have a potential to break through the lows. I don't really see it's going to happen just yet. So I think we're going to see some more choppiness once maybe Monday or Tuesday we get a clearer picture of what's happening with the euro. Okay, there are much better trades than this one. I don't have a trade here at all. So far we've got a decent crude trade, really decent gold trade. This is the one I think I like the best. I've been talking about it since 2 weeks ago, and it's doing what I was really looking for. The Aussie dollar that we talked about. First of all, notice the weekly candle has a big ass reversal, right? With a engulfer over there, and now, I mean, this was from 2 weeks ago clear. Now it's totally clear. I mean, anybody can see this. If you can't see this, stop trading. Okay. I mean, look at the air underneath here. This is ridiculous. Okay. So there's going to be a test of this crazy rally that we had. If you remember what this was when we came down into this level, the Aussie dollar was collapsing. Look here. Boom, 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 collapsing into air. This rally over here, this thing, is this move. And now it's getting retested finally. It took, since the beginning of January, 3 months to actually come back and test this rally that started back here, but now is the time, and therefore we're looking at something like this. If you're not in the short yet, okay, there should be one bounce over here with a little chance into some smaller time frame supply zone to give us this big air pocket, huge pocket of air on the daily chart. Okay, so we want to be short Aussie, okay? And this is the level I've picked. There we go. Looks like this one got hit Friday. If you traded that one, good for you. Stay in the trade. And if you didn't, you have to start looking right here. Okay, looks like 7,100 basically. Give or take a few ticks on either side of 7,100. There's the pushback. And remember that underneath this thing is all that air on the daily chart. Underneath here is all the air on the daily chart. So that's it. We've got one little bounce out of here. We'll test the little level around 7,100, enter short, and then boom. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So short Aussie dollar, like that one a lot. Next, pounds. Oh, I forgot to start the recording. That sucks. I'm sorry. I mean, not the recording, the timer. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'll put it on now if that helps anybody. But cool. All right, pounds. All right. So on the weekly chart, we end up flipping a trend over here. Right? We couldn't close up there, but we did get a new high, and we ended up closing pretty much on the 50 moving average over here on the weekly chart for pounds. We do have an uptrend on the daily chart. You can see it very clearly at this point, and therefore, for now, it's buy the pullbacks in pounds. Okay, demand over here looking like something decent. Okay, a little cleaner levels on the 60 and 15. Okay, let's blow this up. Okay, so we got a little gap down here. That looks nice. Looks like this was a wicks against the wall. We actually have a gap underneath us, and then the doji. I would aim for this sucker right around 3,100. Ooh, pretty. If we can get down here, stop under 30.89, that's a place to join longs for the pounds. Okay. See what the 15 looks like. There's the gap. Yeah, I would wait. This level that I have over here would not be trading unless it starts holding where it hits the level within. Because right now we're sort of channeling down, right? This would have to prove to me that it's ready to go before I buy it. Down over here where we start to get into this level underneath us for sure, under the gap, that's for sure. If it can get through the gap, that's the 30.89 level I was talking about in the 60. Looks great. I like that. Okay, so potential longs down there for pounds. I don't like the shorts on the way down, though. They're not going counter trend on the way down, so leave that alone. This is another really nice setup. Really nice setup. Okay, for the Canadian, it looks a lot like the Aussie dollar. It's again this head and shoulders that I was talking about that was potentially going to play out on the daily chart coming up. All right, this one didn't get quite down to the demand yet, so we still have a piece of this on the way down. Okay, notice that we just broke through all these lows over here. You see the overlapping wicks. That's a hint. There's some supply in there someplace. Take a look at the weekly engulfing candle with all the air underneath us. This is a downtrend. We rallied back to the supply, and now we're ready to sell off again, which means we should be making new lows over here. So, back down underneath this level under there, but even just down into that level is a really nice trade. So, a lot of air coming up. Expect there should be supply someplace over here. Let's go find it because that's the entry for the short. Okay. There it is. Very clear. This is a beautiful trade. Okay. Okay, there's our short. There's the prior level that we broke through. You can see that. There's demand underneath us. Hopefully give us enough strength to get into the short over there. Otherwise, there's one over here that I've drawn also on the 15 chart. I'll show it to you. Two potential entries for this trade. There it is. Okay. So this one's coming in right around 75,600. Okay, this level over here is the higher level. That's this one. Okay, so two chances into this shot over here, and the target is all the way down there on the lows on the weekly chart. Okay, so there's a pretty nice short coming up over here for Canadian. Okay, looks good. So that's sort of telling us really that the dollar really maybe wants to be make another move a little bit. I mean, as I said, Aussie dollar looks like it's going to sell off. The Canadian over here looks like it's going to sell off. But actually, the pounds are still strong, so that's giving us some mixed signals. And the euros, we're not sure about. Sort of a mixed signal, I guess, to strength, some strength in the dollar. But these look really nice setups for shorts as far as the Aussie and the Canadian is concerned. All right, let's take a look at the yen. All right, pretty ugly weekly candle showing a lot of weakness over here. Okay, look where we are, right at the 200 average, right at demand. So there, if we're going to really sell off, this is the spot where, it should bounce back and make a lower high over here. Okay, I don't know if it's going to do that or not, but I don't expect us to just break through the bottom over here without a fight off of this level. This is pretty strong. We had a really strong rally over here. There's an open gap over here from rollover. I think that's what they're trying to get to. Okay, this is the last rollover back in, December or whatever it was, and we left a gap there. We never went back to it yet. Okay, so it's still there, and we're coming up on March. We're going to have rollovers soon again, but maybe they want to come back and tag that level. I'm not sure. We're definitely in demand on the higher time frame, the daily level over here, where it was all the prior highs back there, and we've hit this level, and now we should start to see this thing hold. All right, not ready to get long here, but by any means, but I'm expecting at least a test of this zone before we really sell off any further. Okay, and then maybe we can, get down to the gap. I don't know. If we just drop into the gap, I would buy this zone. Okay, but if we start rallying back over here, I'm more likely to take the short from this level because that's a bigger trade down into the gap. You know what I mean? And the long is a little bit counter trend on smaller time frames. So I'm probably not taking that unless it just drops straight into this gap, in which case I will buy the long. It's going to get overextended to the downside. Got demand under there. That I'll try on the long side. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Definitely channeling down. Downtrend going on the 60, lower highs and lower lows, working our way down into demand. Looks like the last trade worked pretty nicely right there. And that's it. So again, shorts, this level is still decent. This one is better. If it gets up there, it looks like 9,000. And we're looking for gap fills. Okay, so where's the level? What was the number on the weekly chart? Let's go back and look at the level. Is it 9,000? Yeah, a little higher. It's 93.05 to 7. It's a little bit higher up. It's actually, that's really far. I don't know if we're going to get there. That's this thing up here. I don't think we're getting there. It's more likely we get it to this 91 and change over here on the daily chart, and then take the short down into the gap fill. That's more likely. But a back test is going to come. Okay, so there's going to be a rally back. We're going to test 9,000, and then we'll figure out what happens here. If we get through the zone, channel pop, then we'll take a short over here. Okay, see what happens. Still like the other trades better. The cleaner trade so far is Canadian Aussie, gold short, and crude short. Those are all shorts. Looking okay. Nat gas on the long call, looking fantastic. Love this. Okay, it looks great. Still in it, and we're about to get into this gap area over here. We'll have to see how it opens tonight. I think we're probably going to gap up into the zone and over here and see what happens. Clearly. Very strong, resistance for the lows over here on the prior monthly candle. We're about to take out the highs, which is also the 50 average over here, which is going to open up a lot of air up here. Probably a back test, potentially a 3.5, somewhere over here someplace, But we'll watch this thing for now. Stay long. We're going to get into some supply. There may be a little back test and another chance to get into the trade if you're not in it yet. But long is definitely the move for nat gas for now. There's a big northeast storm coming. We're actually going to get some snow tonight here in New York. It looks like maybe something around 7-8 inches or something like that. So that always helps. Winter storms are good for nat gas. And we're expecting, pullbacks into demand or longs over here. Next target for nat gas, I would say, is probably around 3.2. So gap fill on the weekly chart. Actually 3.1. Sorry about that. 3.1. So that's another 200-300 to the upside. Right over here. We're going to fill this gap. Okay. Cool. Next. Copper actually has a really nice trade this week. Finally, something developing for us. So we were talking about longs into this move, and now I'm going to say we want to be short. Okay. Take a look what happened over here last week. We're getting an inverted hammer at the top of the move. I think we're actually going to see a red candle coming back over here now. For next coming week, we're going to get this reversal pattern, I think was what's showing, and I'll tell you in a minute why I believe that to be true. First of all, we've hit the supply zone on the daily chart. Okay, cancel this. Okay. We've hit the supply up here on our daily chart at 2.97, and then we did this triple topping formation over here with the engulfer at the kicker at the end of the day. All right, so we've gotten back to the demand really where it started. What we should see is a little pop-up over here. There should be a short someplace over here in a smaller time frame where we broke the lows and then boom, into this zone right here. So we're looking for a short around 294, target 287 and change. Really big move for copper. That's quite profitable move. So I like this trade. I'm going to show you where I think the entry is. There it is. Very, very pretty. Okay, so you can see that this is our supply zone. We banged into it. They broke back down into demand over here. What we want to see is a pop-up, lower high, test of the break. Look where it is. Here it is. There's the break. Right there. Got a failed hammer right over here. This is the entry. It's not big. Okay, stop above, and then aim for that demand on the daily chart down there. Let's go back there for a minute. So it's entry short around 295.10 over there. This 15-minute zone, yeah, 287 and change. So really nice. Oof. Right around here is the short 295, and the target's down here. Beautiful trade. Okay. Copper short for this week. Soy, it's been a bitch of a bitch, but it's resilient. It's not breaking down. So I know it's been choppy as hell, but I'm telling you, this thing's really ready to pop. Even Friday, we didn't hold this level after the rollover. We filled the rollover gap. We actually broke that zone and ended up in this zone at 900 with a huge late day rally to erase almost all the sell-off. So Monday is a really big day for soy at this point. We need to know if this is just some pent up energy at 9, big round number, and then we're able to rally back 12 or 13, or they're really going to continue at top. If it starts rolling over here and breaks down, then I think we're likely to end up all the way down over here. But if we're able to continue out of this thing, then we're making new highs and we're through into this air that I keep saying is going to come. So we'll have to decide on Monday what the call for crude for soy is. For right now, if you ended up taking the longs down over here off this demand zone, good for you. It's just a little flag over here. Boom, comes into this level, has a big reaction, and then sort of, it's stuck over here and doing a V-bottom reversal over here. So it's expected to go this way. See if it does or not. I don't have a good entry for us just now. So still leaning long, looking for a chance to join this one if you're not in it yet. This one was spot on. I hope some of you caught this thing. I talked about the potential for this channel breaking down last week, if you remember. Over here on the daily chart, it was looking like a bear flag, and boom. So we did have rollover. That's part of the move down is rollover. You can see the rollover gap sitting over here, but it got plenty of continuation after that. Okay, so for now, we're almost to the level where we're expecting this to get, to test again. I don't know if it's going to go all the way down to the 140-ish level. I don't think it's getting here. Likely to hit 142 and then start to rally again over here on this weekly chart. So for now, short the gap at target 142. Okay, this is the beginning of a flag breakdown, and, we're expecting it to finish somewhere over here. So there's a nice little gap, pretty clean entry for that. And there it is, okay, on our 60 chart. So there's our gap. There's some demand under here. It looks like we just traded through that. But here, short inside the gap, or gap rollover, absolutely good spot to join the shorts, aiming for 142. Okay, so the equities for this week is still, not ready to sell off just yet. We'll have to see how it plays out. Some decent looking trades for crude, for Aussie dollar, for Canadian. What else did we see that was cool? I like the copper trade. And those are the most, I think, the cleanest entries that I've laid out. If anyone has any questions, you know how to reach me. Email, blah, 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 whatever. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. All right, all the best. Ciao. Bye.